Hey guys, welcome to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm Sean. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check things out on this video where we're going to discuss the difference between silver and numismatically priced items or valued items. And when it comes to selling at the last minute, if things were to happen, the shit hits a fan, you need the money right away for a repair or a bill or something to that effect, which one is it be easier to sell? And then ultimately, which one will get you the most amount of money, all right? The answer may not shock or surprise a lot of you, but at the very least, you need to know which one would be better to have. And, possibly talk about a little bit about possibly holding a little bit of each into your stack or portfolio. So when we're talking about this subject, and it's been brought up a number of times, okay, there's still a vast majority of people that are under the impression that because you have things like this that have quite a bit of numismatic value, that you could simply sell it at any given time, anywhere, any place, to the moment for what the full market value is. Okay? That's kind of tough to achieve when it comes to these. All right? So when we're comparing one to the other, all right, there are similarities, but the difference, my friends, are quite drastic. All right, and it has everything to do with the availability of the cash right away. All right, so for this particular exercise, I want to kind of use coin dealers, coin shops as the main focal point of being able to obtain money for these. Now, there are a number of different outfits that you can go to sell some of these coins. Pawn shops are another option. However, you can't sell everything at a pawn shop and expect to get full amount of money or value for that item in that given time. They're kind of, if it really came down to it, and the only reason why a pawn shop would make any sort of sense would be on a Sunday afternoon when all the coin shops are closed. Pawn shops, again, have to be the absolute last resort when it comes to selling anything numismatically related or precious metals at all costs, because it doesn't matter if you're selling either or, you're going to get a lot less value for those pieces than, say, if you went to a coin shop. So when we're determining the value of our numismatic coins that, ladies and gentlemen, might have a base metal type of value. Here's a couple great examples. If we're looking at just the base value of this 90% peace dollar right here, it's a coin that has a melt value of just under $26 as the taping of this video. All right, so if you had coins that look like this, they have a melt value of right around $26, and we're kind of using that as an example. Whereas 999 fine silver, now this is a Libertad, and in this particular case, obviously we're going to base everything off of generic silver rounds and bars. I actually have a Johnson Matthey 1 ounce bullion bar that might fit in there as well, although the Johnson Mattheys sell for a considerable premium when it comes to generics. Generic is any form of silver bullion or ingots that weren't produced at any world mint facility. All right, so this is a premium Libertad. If we're going by today's values, I'm just going to round up to $25 an ounce, because that's kind of where we're at right now. It's plus or minus $1. Today's sell price at a coin shop would be right around $4 above melt for things like this. So expect to go into a coin shop and buy these for $29 a piece. Now for Libertads, it's going to be a little bit higher. Libertads, Silver Eagles, Maple Leafs, things like that. Again, anything sovereign in nature is what they call it. Those premiums jump up a little bit more. So you might be probably more in the $32 to $33 range for such pieces. But it's always easy to understand the valuation kind of balance with these here. So assuming that this is just a generic bar, you're going to be somewhere around $29. On the sovereign stuff, the premium's higher, you're at $33. Okay, so we're going to use those as examples. So again, for a base piece dollar that's maybe not graded, might be cull, might be just a grade that doesn't significantly move the numismatic value of the coin up that much, you're going to be right around $26 a piece for these. Now, if we have either of these, it's going to be easier for us to sell these right away at a coin shop for pretty close to what melt value is, okay? If you guys have watched videos like Silver Seeker, where he actually goes and calls coin shops, they're going to tell you that they're going to be right around spot. Obviously, where they make the money is off of volume and the premium that's adjusted up above the melt price for those items. So their generics, they're going to make $4 a piece on. For these sovereigns, they're going to make that $7 to $9 premium. Okay, Silver Eagles have been kind of the king of premiums these days. So when you go to sell these right away, most coin shops, okay, because not all of them operate under the same philosophy, they're going to be right around spot value. So assuming all that, you're going to get $25 for every silver, considering that the shit has hit the fan and you need this right away. Because there's always better ways of selling these for the full market potential, which is that premium. Now, when we go to sell our plus premium graded numismatic coins, here's where things really begin to kind of change a little bit. Actually, a lot. You're going to see quite a huge variance here. So numismatically related stuff is the adjusted market premium for that particular grade. Like this is a mid-state 62 piece dollar, a very common date. However, with this toning in here, this is a coin that elevates the value of this piece to right around $200 in today's market. If you guys know your piece dollars don't tone that well. And even if they do, there's just not a lot of them out in the marketplace because these were never placed in GSA hoards. Okay, they were never in those canvas bags the same way that the Morgan dollars were, and that's why you see a lot more toned specimens of Morgan dollars than you do piece dollars. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, when it comes to selling coins like this, okay, you're going to walk into a coin shop, and then what they're probably going to do is open up something called the Coin Dealer Newsletter, also known as Gray Sheet. So it's got prices on there. They'll open up the Gray Sheet, and then on the Gray Sheet, they actually come in magazine form, with the subscription. But there's going to be two different rows of pricing. There's a bid price and an ask price. So the bid price is normally what they function off of when they're going to buy an item off of you, like the instance of this one here. And unfortunately, toning, not all coin dealers realize the premium when it comes to toned coins. So if you paid a lot more money for the toning, I'm afraid that might actually work against you. But on each one of these rows, you have a bid and ask. Ask is going to be pretty close to where retail is, all right? Now, would they open this up and say, hey, Mr. Customer, we're going to give you bid on this, or they're just going to throw out a number based off of what they see on the bid line on there? No, they probably will give you a lot less than that. What it comes out to is you're going to end up somewhere between 50 and 60% of where this actual retail value of this coin is. So if you had paid $200 and you walked into a coin shop that sees the value of toned coins, they'll probably offer you right around $100 for the coin. Now, considering that it is an emergency thing, and you have the option of always selling these online and then obtaining the full market value for such a coin. So that's the main differences between bullion and numismatic, is that with numismatic pieces, if you needed to sell it right away to the minute, right this moment, you got to understand that you're willing to accept about 50 to 60% of the retail value of the coin, which is very unfortunate. People pay $1,000 for coins all day long. They walk into a coin shop and come to find out that they end up getting $500-600 for the coin. It's a pretty good gut punch, especially if it's one that you paid your own money on. It wasn't handed down to you through an inheritance or what have you. Now, it'll still hurt because, you know, it belonged to a loved one, but when you pay your own money for a coin and then you go to sell it right away because of some emergency, that's where you're going to feel the pinch. All right, is that, you know, you're going to accept a huge deep cut in value for it. Whereas on silver, you're going to get right around melt. And if you're lucky enough to have a dealer or a provider of these that sells right close to melt, you're not going to feel the pinch on these. So if you have to unload these right away, and if you had 100 of the Johnson Matthey 1 ounces here, all right, you probably ended up paying probably $3,000. You'll probably end up getting right around $2,500 for all 100 ounces, and then let the dealer make whatever profit they want to off of the premiums. So obviously having 999 fine, and you probably want to stay in 1 ounce denoms and higher. Try not to get into a lot of the fractionals, the 1/10 and half ounce deals, because those have a weird premium on them due to scarcity, and you don't want to add to your stack. If you think you're doing yourself a favor by trying to find affordable options for these by going down in size, all right, you're really not doing yourself a favor. Those things sell for way too much than what they're worth from a stacker's perspective. So you're gonna get most of your money back from here. Now, if you're at all worried about which type of silver to stack or hoard, you can't go wrong with generics, because they're going to have value, you know, and they still have that premium attached to them. You're not going to accept too much defeat when it comes to reselling these when that time comes. All right. And then before I let you guys go, quick little add-in to these low mintage commemorative silvers. This is actually a 999 fine Canadian bat. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a really pretty coin. But this is actually 1 ounce. This is actually a maple leaf with an overlay of Swarovski gems or crystals on there. It's very attractive. This coin right here has a value in today's market of around $275. And a lot of that is adjusted premiums for the scarcity of these. These are more of the numismatic type of valued items, even though these are the host coins on these. And this, by the way, is made from the Royal Canadian Mint this way. It's really pretty. But even though they have the maple leaf design in the background behind the bat and all that, and they've actually kind of used the maple leaf base core design for these, don't let that fool you, because these things right here, you're not going to be able to sell these. You might have a dealer say, "Oh, I'll give you $50 for it." You're like, "Wow, it's worth $275 in today's market." They're just simply not going to care. You know, so always be wary. If you're going to buy these, buy them for the novelty. Don't buy them as kind of a hedge or part of your stack. All right, these are specialized coins, and these have to be sold online independently, like on eBay or something like that. And it's going to realize the full potential of the market on these. So these are very tricky to sell, even though they have a mintage of like 100. This has a mintage of like 100 or something ridiculous. So it's very scarce and very rare. But keep in mind, coin dealers just don't give a shit when you go to sell this last second and you need that money. All right, they just don't see the valuation of these the same way that you and I do as collectors. So I hope this video was able to give you some sort of insight. Now, I'm not telling you shouldn't collect numismatic valued items, okay? The one big plus side with these is that they enhance in value a whole lot more quicker than PMs do, all right? And the big reason why is scarcity on these. So when it comes to these, high grades always command the biggest premiums in today's market. They do have full market valuation and potential as long as you sell it correctly, whether it's through an auction house or if you sell it online yourself, through eBay, through Facebook, you know, through a few other channels out there. You're just going to realize all the potential for the value of that coin. which is there. All right. It's just when things are tight and you need the money right now, as in 15 minutes ago, bullion is definitely where it's at. Now, what I recommend is that you carry a nice healthy position of both numismatics and silver. So keep that in mind. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. It was a pleasure talking to you about this. You guys take care. Stack responsibly, collect responsibly, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.